What's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. Been away for about, is it a week or two now for international? But we're back for game week 12. It is, yeah, it's game week 12. It's non-stop now until like March, I believe. So no more international. So this is the busy period of the season.
Thank goodness.
What do you say?
International
What are you saying, bro?
This time, man.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but Republic of Ireland's game.
Scotland's game.
This? Oh, the Scotland. Now you know what? There's commentary for the Scotland game, and just the way the drama in that game alone. Yeah. No, I love it. I love it. It's been interesting. Apart from Nigeria, obviously.
Don't mind that team.
Going.
They should just gone out in the group stage. Let everyone rest.
Yeah. 100%. They should have just saved all of us time and gone out of the group stage. But no, we're back anyway. Premier League is back. Fantasy football is back. We're going to get to it. Before we get started, people, if you can please subscribe to the channel, click the like button, turn on your notification to know whenever we upload onto YouTube, and comment. Let us know what your thoughts are on this game week. Do you have any tips for anyone? And I think the big talking point this week is really Gabriel. Who do you replace Gabriel with? So let's just start with that. Let's just go straight into that, Dave. In terms of Gabriel, have you had any? You have him in your personal team. I don't think we have him in our team now. But in terms of like Gabriel as a whole, who would you replace him with?
I guess I think probably the easy two calls are either another Arsenal defender or a Palace defender, because both of them have been quite steady. Like, obviously Gay might be injured, but just in general, all the Crystal Palace defenders have been doing quite well. Or you just switch him up in the defense that he's Gabriel's currently in. If I want to look a bit further afield, I might be tempted to go for a United defender. I think they've got a few interesting games coming up. Or alternatively, another defender on the other side of the city, which is Nico O'Reilly, and we spoke about him earlier. He's got what you want from a left back, but the question is, does he play all the games, given that they have options, and does he sit out maybe harder games or games that need a different profile of left back? Because obviously they've got Nori, who I think is either back from injury or close to being back, and they've got Vardio that can play left back as well. So it depends on if he continues to get the run he has at the moment. But those will be, I guess, the two teams I've mentioned: Arsenal, Palace, and then Nico O'Reilly or United defender. And my go-to would probably be Ligt.
Yeah. No, I think we was talking about O'Reilly earlier on today, and you just brought up a great point, because I didn't really think of it. That I forgot. Nori is back. I don't think he will play Gabriel left back. I think that partnership between him and Diaz, I think, is what he's been looking for, and he's actually got something that's actually working now for him. So I don't think he will try to break that up unless if there's some sort of injury. So I think the worry is whether Nori gets back into the team.
And even if he does, it won't be for long. It was AFCON.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He has to go.
Yeah, that's true. And in that case, I don't think it would disrupt what is currently working for him then, because he's got back four. The only thing that I think he tends to change is maybe the right back. What he's been playing, what's the right back's name? Nunes. He's been playing for a while as well. So I think I think outside of Arsenal and Palace, maybe there might be second or third in terms of clean sheet if he was talking about the last few games, and in terms of the number of goals they've conceded as well. So it won't be a bad shout. His price keep going up. I think he's at 5 now. At one point it was 4 point something. So so if you are going to get him, I'm not sure whether you want to wait a week or you can wait a week, because I think they are away to Newcastle this week. But let me just share my screen so we can get started. Let's go with, while we're on, we just go through the games first. While I'm sharing my screen, in terms of the other players that you think you should sell? Do you think there's anyone players that we should they should get rid of now that they have the opportunity?
It depends on. I guess it depends on who you have at that point, at that moment in time. I'm not sure there's anyone that lots of people will jump on that's been horrific. Like obviously Semenyo's blank for the last 4 games, but this is probably not the game that you want to make the change for him.
Yeah. I think he's obviously got he's on yellow, but I think he will be fine because he just proposed to his missus. So I'm guessing. I think the story is that they let him go early for the proposal. Ghana allowed him to go early for proposal. That's what the story is. So I think he should be fine. Enzo, they did say Enzo should be fine as well, but still not. Let's just look into the games first. What games stand out to you? I'll tell you which one stands out to me, but what game stands out to you?
Stand out to me probably the Brighton one. Just because both teams give up goals. I think Brentford have conceded 2 in each of their last 4 away games, and Brighton, we know they give up chances as well. Wolves, because they like to help everybody. They like to give everyone points. United Everton as well. I think we should be able to get a win there. Potentially a clean sheet with the likes of Barry and Beto up front. Yeah, those are the ones that scream at me immediately. But obviously, you've got Bournemouth, West Ham. We don't know what West Ham you're going to get at the moment. So, yeah, it's got potential.
Yeah, I think the thing with West Ham, they're still conceding. So although Nuno's known for his defensive attributes as a manager, but he hasn't got it right at the moment with West Ham. They're conceding almost every single game. So I do think they'll concede, and I do think you're right in terms of the Semenyo. This is probably not the right time because the next run of games, I think they've still got a few decent games that he might be able to turn up in. So I will keep him. And especially with the release clause, if he was to go to a bigger team, if he was to make that transfer, we don't know whether he'll make that transfer. You might want to just keep a hold of him before his money starts going quite high. Unless if there's anyone significant that you can go for now. The only other game I was thinking is the Liverpool game. I think last year when they played Forest, they lost 1-0, right? Forest beat them 1-0, but Forest conceded a lot of chance. Liverpool tends to create a lot of chance, and I think I saw an XP table, and Liverpool was top of that table. They've created more chances than anyone else. It's only a matter of time before they start scoring these goals. I think one of the questions I asked you during the week is, do you think, especially for someone that's got a wild card, do you think it's worth trying to force Salah in the team? Bearing in mind, if you force Salah into the team, you might not be able to have more than 2-3 top players because you won't be able to fit Mbeumo, Foden, Saka, Semenyo into the team. You can only have one of those 4 or 5 players that I've just mentioned. Especially if you have exactly with Haaland as well. And even maybe the strikers, the Pedro and Mateta, all 3 might not be able to fit in the team. Would you think it's worth taking a gamble on Salah?
If I was doing a wild card, I definitely wouldn't. So, if you're getting Salah, it's because you're trying to get ahead of the curve, right? But if you're basing it on form, nothing's telling you to get him. I think that's the key thing. If you're taking a risk and you're thinking, actually, I've got a few people that I'm trying to catch and I want to jump on this quickly and see, but nothing's verified that he's going to be consistent in form. And that's my one thing in terms of consistency with his price. I don't think I would risk it. If I had potentially a free hit, I'll do it on a one-off just to see. But then to lock him into your wildcard team, it might be harder to make other maneuvers once you've got him.
Yeah.
Because then you've got like 3 or 4 other cheap players just because of him. And then to balance out your team takes another 3-4 weeks.
Yeah. Nah, I hear you. But would you recommend any Liverpool player? Because Liverpool's fixtures moving forward are decent. They've got a good run of games, some at home. I think they're probably playing teams on the other side of the table. Would you recommend anyone else from their team?
So defense, it would only be Van Dijk, because I just don't know what the rest of the defense are doing, and he can always pop up with a goal. And because of his price, he's a good placeholder. So if you sell Gabriel, that you've got good value there, and it'll probably be easier to just transition back to Gabriel at some point in time. In terms of anywhere else, it will probably be Ekitike. He would be him, and Gakpo would be the two that I would think of.
Okay. Cool.
What about you? Who would you pick from Liverpool?
I think those are the players. Gakpo, I think the main one I was Ekitike. I think if is worth getting him now, but I'm not sure whether Isak is back or not, because the only worries about Ekitike is that they're going to be sharing minutes. If Isak is back, even if he starts, they will share minutes. I know people saying they both can play together. I don't see him playing.
Unless he's doing the business, then it'll be like, why are you spending my minutes?
Even if he's doing the business, it will still share the minutes. Like, we'll get one and it will still let him go. Whereas I want to play, if I want my striker to have every opportunity to get 2, 3, 4, you know what I mean, play 90. So I think they will still share the minutes while they ease Isak back in. Even if Liverpool are winning 1-0 and he's got the goal. So I don't really want that.
The left as well. But he can still play on the left as well, because he played on the left for France and got his goal from the left.
Yeah, possibility, and then that takes away from Gakpo as well. So I think with Liverpool forward, that's why I mentioned Salah earlier, because he's the one person that's guaranteed to you think more or less get the minutes, right? The rest will struggle to get the minutes. Yeah, you can take the chance, as you said earlier, if you're aiming to catch someone and you want to get ahead of the curve, you can take that. Can be a differential for you, and hoping that they play, and if they do play, and they can get any one of them in Liverpool can easily get 2 to 3 goals in a game. That's if you're lucky. If you want to take those risks now, then you can start taking risks now with one of those players. If not, there are other players that you can settle with. As I said, we mentioned the Bournemouth players, even Brighton, because I was thinking about Minteh to get Minteh for this game. So Minteh is not a bad shout, because his record is not bad. He gets assists, he gets goals. The only problem with players like Minteh is that they only tends to do one thing. You don't get more than one thing from them. They don't get 2 goals, and they don't get 2.
Like Minteh actually finds himself. Like, he does so much hard work, finds himself in such fantastic positions, but then will just do something dumb. But he's a good shout. He's a good shout.
Cool. Yeah, I think the Palace game is a great shout. I think they'll keep a clean sheet. So if you do have Palace, double up on that. And then the attackers have Mateta or Sarr, really. That's where the attacking goals come from, both of them. I don't think goes from Mateta. It doesn't come from anyone else apart from Mateta and Sarr majority of the times. So if you have one of them, you're doing well. And the last team I want to mention is Villa. Villa has been a good run of form. In terms of the attackers, you just don't know where the goals is coming from at the moment. Everything is being spread out. Is there anyone in particular that you will pinpoint from their team, or would you go defensively? Because the defense are quite cheap in Villa.
Yeah, they are. They're quite cheap, but I think Malen has been on a good run of form. I probably don't rate him just right off the bat, but in terms of form, he's been on a good run of form. So Malen's a good shout from an attacking sense. I think he scored in a few of their games, and he also scored for the Netherlands recently as well.
Okay. You know what the thing about Malen is that when I was looking for a player, he was one of the first in my mind. But then when I start to look at the minutes he plays, it doesn't play enough minutes.
No,
like the
he
last
doesn't.
game he played 9.
Yeah, he does. He really doesn't.
And then he plays 31.
He seems to be playing himself
But then
into the team recently.
So because he's got 3 goals altogether and no assists. So yeah, he's the one on form. It's just the minutes that worries me. That's the only thing. But
and then you look at Buendia.
He is someone that
as well.
Buendia, he gets injured, but his minutes is not.
But he only just came back.
He only just came back from injury. So
yeah.
So he's got 3 goals as well and 2 assists, and he's got all those points. And he's hardly played minutes.
Yeah, he's hardly
this
played
season. So he's definitely another one. Obviously, the person that's guaranteed to get minutes, Rodgers, is just whether he performs. He hasn't really been in top form this season. 1 goal, 2 assists. Yeah, you can see he plays 90. He's playing a lot of minutes when the output is not good enough compared to the others that haven't played minutes. All right, cool. Is there any other player this week? I'll go into like your wildcard player of the week in a bit, but I want us to go through our team first. Was there anyone else you want to mention?
Probably just a Chelsea player, maybe Cucurella at the back, just because he's got attacking and defensive opportunities. That'll be my person of thought.
Yeah, I do. I think Chelsea players. I was thinking of Garnacho. I'll be honest with you, but I don't know what it is. I'm still a bit skeptical about going all out sometimes with the first game of the the week.
Well, Chelsea have too many options. Are you thinking of making Garnacho captain?
No. Definitely not captain. I was just thinking to bring him into the team. But then Garnacho is inconsistent. That's another thing I got. Nothing I know about Garnacho is because his last performance was brilliant. But knowing him, he can end up putting up a stinker in the next game. That's because the last game he got 2 assists. I think he got 11 points altogether. Then
my worry with him is
he's inconsistent with his options. What's coming up? You say
they got Champions League coming up, don't they? I think Barcelona they're playing on during the week. So it's whether they put Ligt or somebody on Saturday.
Okay. Look, this is our team for the week. Where do we? I think we should put Sensi on for the oath.
Makes sense.
Should we keep the goalkeeper against United?
I feel like they're both.
Or you go with Dubravka?
I'll go Dubravka. I would like to hope that Pickford won't get more points than him.
Okay. I think our attackers are fine. The defense is fine how it is. I think we keep Semenyo. Do you think we replace Enzo?
Yeah. First thing, who would we replace him with? I think that's the main decider.
I think one of the players that we've mentioned. Let's see how much you will have in the bank if we were to replace him. I think we'll have a decent amount. Taking Enzo off. 7.2. It's quite a bit. If you're looking at midfielders or just looking at the games, is there a specific game? I mentioned, let's just go through the games that we said. So we said in Brighton, let's go start with Brighton. If he was to go to Brighton, it will be Minteh that I will pick. So that's the options available. The only other person I feel is Jorginho, but he's always getting in dangerous areas, but just doesn't. Is pretty much like Minteh as well, but they don't get a goal or the assist.
I actually prefer Gómez to both of them. No, not to both
and
of
that's
them.
Been Gómez don't. If I was gonna pick one, Gómez will 100% be the guy, but he doesn't get the minutes.
He doesn't get the minutes, but in that way, there is a striker. That boy can finish, Gómez, but he doesn't get the minutes.
Can finish. If he was to get the minutes, then yeah, definitely he will be my first choice. Okay, then you've already got a Palace player. Or do we? So we've got Saw already. Then we got Liverpool. Any players in Liverpool we can afford? I don't think we'll be able to afford any other midfielders.
How much is Gakpo? Like 7.9, 7.8 now?
I think it's a bit more. 7.5. So yeah, just won't be able to afford Gakpo. And then we start to look at the Villa game. Huh?
Unless you want to double up on Man United.
I don't think you can afford anyone else in midfield.
How about Casemiro? Goal and assist this week.
The only thing, the thing with Casemiro is that we would just be using him for a week and wanting to replace him and go again. And I'm not sure how many minutes it will give him, knowing that he's just played back-to-back 90 minutes for Brazil.
True.
Good thing is we are playing on Monday, so we'll get a bit of time to recover.
Yeah, but they're probably better choices in all honesty. I was just mentioning, but they're definitely better choices.
Yeah. Or we can go for the guy that played one the last game with what's his name? Man City player, winger.
Oh, Doku.
6.4. So if I think he should be between Brighton player, which is Minteh or Gómez. I think it's not a bad shot going taking the risk with Gómez, you know.
Yeah, obviously that's exactly what it is. It is a risk. It is a risk, but I think he's got something about him.
If not, then Malen from Villa. Or actually, how much is Rodgers? Is Rodgers too expensive?
Might just be enough, you know.
It's 6.8.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6.8. Rodgers is not a bad shout.
Yeah, so we could probably go with Rodgers because then at least we know we got the minutes.
Okay. The risk will be Minteh or Gómez, but we can go with Rodgers because I'm comfortable with everyone else. I think we got a pretty strong team for this week. I'm happy to make the transfer now. In terms of like the old, I'm sure I confirmed the goalkeeper substitutions before. Didn't we confirm it? This is what fantasy do.
Would have just been upset on the weekend.
Change the order. Save. Okay, so are you happy with the order?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay, the next big decision is the captaincy. Who did we pick last game week? Did we
Ooh,
stick with? Did we leave it with Haaland?
I think we we left it with Haaland. We left it with Haaland.
Let me just check.
We left it with Haaland because I know we had the Mbeumo discussion when Mbeumo
Because
scored. So we did leave it with Haaland.
Oh yeah. So we left it. We left it with Haaland. So it is Haaland. Did we change it this week?
I would leave it as Haaland. I think last game week I was a bit more confident not having it as Haaland, but this week I would, might leave it with Haaland.
Away to Newcastle.
Who's stopping him?
Away to Newcastle. Newcastle don't get. No, I'm putting Mbeumo as vice captain. Newcastle doesn't give away that much goals.
West Ham scores 3 goals against them.
At home. Away.
But Haaland's Haaland. Haaland don't care who you are. Who are you thinking of? As captain?
And Mbeumo or Saka. Saka always scores against Spurs, though, isn't it?
I wouldn't have an issue with any of those. So, they'll probably get the same amount of goals, in all honesty. So I have no issues with either of those, and they're midfielders, so they'll get more points.
Okay. Because it's been a good run of form. We're still on green, all green, still going up. We'll think about this. We'll come back to this because I do feel like maybe we should change it. But we can come back to it. All right. Look, I think we've got our team. Before I move on to I want to start discussing the chips now because we're nearing towards halfway and we've still got a few chips left. But before we go, there's every week we obviously, if this is the first time you're tuning in, I always ask Ade who his wildcard player of the week is. And normally, I think 95% of the time, they at least always get something. So who would you pick this week? A player that you think everyone should get, or a player that you think everyone should take a chance at? That there may be a risk, but you advise people to take the chance.
So I've got 2 this week, and they're both midfielders. So one is Casemiro, because obviously I don't think he's owned by many people, and the second is Kevin Shard for Brentford.
Okay. Casemiro I can understand. To be honest, I didn't expect Kevin Shard, but as I said, 8, 9 out of 10, you've been getting this right. So I'm not one to question it. Did he scored in the last game though, right?
Who? Kevin Shard? He did.
Yeah.
Or Kevin Shard, or whichever way you
pronounce
it.
They beat someone at home or something. Yeah, they beat. Yeah, it did. He did. He got a goal. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. That's cool. All right, look, let's move on as we're running out of time. We're down to the nitty-gritty part of the season now. We need to start using our chip. If you were to use it, let's start with obviously wildcard. If we've already used our wildcard, but if you was to give people advice when to use your wildcard, when would it be? Because in my personal team, I haven't used it, and I said I'm going to use it next week. Would you advise people to use it this week rather than next week?
No, I think so much has happened in this last week that it just probably makes sense to wait until there's more information.
Yeah, I hear you. And if people have already triggered their wild card, because wild card is one of the chips that you can't change back. So if you use a wild card or use a free hit, you can't change it back. The only thing you can cancel is a bench boost and triple captain. Who should they be having in their team if they have triggered a wild card?
If they have, obviously Haaland is a must. I think at the moment Saka is. I'll probably focus on United. I'll definitely have a bit of United in my team. Possibly Mbeumo, Ligt, and yeah, Mateta. I guess you got options with forwards. Forwards are doing well. You've got a few of them that are doing well.
Yeah.
Mateta, Welbeck, Haaland, João Pedro. So I think you've got good options, but Haaland obviously is just a must. And I think with the run United are going on, if I could get Mbuemo into my team, I would.
Okay, look. So then we're going into like free hit, or should I say, when would you use your free hit?
Potentially this week. I've actually considered using it this week. In terms of the fixtures, because then you could just pick a handful of fixtures and focus on it. Otherwise, it'll probably be closer to Christmas.
Okay. Yeah, we spoke about this, and I say I'll use my one closer to Christmas because Christmas period, that's when you get quick turnarounds when it comes to a lot of the games, and some of the players might not play, and you will pretty much know you'll get injuries as well. So you might not be able to make enough substitution, but if you know there's certain players that are guaranteed to play, or you at least want to have a decent sub as backup, I think I'm going to use it during the Christmas period. I think that's the last one I'm going to save. I'm going to save my free hit as the last one. In terms of what's the next bench boost? I think you should align your bench boost with if you have a wild card or game week 16, because if you use a wild card the week after, align it so you make sure that every player on your bench is going to play, then use your bench boost after, or game week 16 when we're going to get the 5 substitutions, transfers, so that way you can use your bench boost straight after that 5 transfers. So if not, you don't have to use a transfer straight away, but at least as long as you keep a hold of your transfer, use it whenever it pleases you. But I think it should be aligned with one of those two. For me personally, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I think that makes perfect sense. That's exactly what I think should be done. If you've got wildcard, perfect opportunity to set up your team, and those 5 subs gives another fantastic opportunity to use your bench boost. Because ideally, before you get those 5, you should have roughly a good team, and then that opportunity to use 5 is perfect.
And lastly, triple captain. I think this is probably the trickiest one, I think, because what game would you pick, or who would you be targeting to have the right game to make to put as triple captain?
I think high chance for me it would be City against a poor defense. I think would technically be what I'd be looking for.
Okay.
On another time, it would have been Salah, but he hasn't been doing that much recently.
Yeah. And if you are going to use Salah, you got to use Salah within the next 3-4 weeks because he's going African Nations Cup game week 16. So, yeah. I think for me, it might be West Ham.
Against West Ham.
So it might be, West Ham is not a bad shout. And then, I think West Ham would have been my game week. I will avoid this. I will avoid after Christmas because there'll be heavy legs. I'm not sure how much goals do we normally see. This is a game after Boxing Day fixtures, so
Boxing Day
I'm not sure if we see a lot of goals.
Boxing Day tends to be
so I will use it before those week. I'll be honest with you. If I were you, I would use it by game week 17. I will use my wildcard before then, before we start getting into the Christmas period. I think, yeah, those I think those are the best time to use it. But I think that's it. I think that's everything. We've gone through the chips. We've gone through our team for the week. Got through the players to get who to replace Gabriel with. Is there anything else?
No, I think we've had quite a comprehensive session today. So hopefully we've given enough people to do well with.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think obviously off the back of international, knowing that we are getting into the busy stage of the season, this is, I think we've gone into more than enough details, and what we can do as we go through the week, we can obviously let you know when we're using our wildcard for our personal team. I mean, our chips for our personal teams, or obviously the team that you can see now, the Red Divided team. If you haven't joined the Red Divided league yet, the code is, how do I get the code again? Let me see. How do I get a code for it again? One second, if I can find it. Invite people. Okay, so the code is 3NSA1R. 3NSA1R. So if you haven't joined the league, join the league. We're back. We're here weekly. So if this is your first time tuning in, thanks for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe. We are back really with weekly advice. If you have any questions for us, put it in a comment. We'll be able to answer that. And we'll be back next week. Thank you. Be out. Peace.